Gerry, you've brought me back to The Bachelor. I haven't watched in a while because I feel like you were there for the right reason. How does it feel to be the Golden Bachelor?
Oh, it's sensational. It's obviously the opportunity of a lifetime. It's just great fun, too.
First episode dropped. It was sensational. What was it like for you watching it back?
Well, some of it, you know, I don't even remember. I was so excited that night. I was thrilled about the women getting out of the limo that there are moments in there that I go, oh, yeah, now I remember that. But I didn't remember all of it.
Was there anything cringy watching it back that you're like, oh, my gosh, oh, my gosh?
I would say no. I was okay with everything that happened. You know, I remember trying to always be genuine, to be myself. And so the actions I took based on that, I own. I live with it.
Were you surprised by all the women that you thought, wow, they could be a good fit? Because there was one cute one after the next, Gerry.
I was surprised by that. And as a group, they were awesome. They so represent our generation. You know, beautiful, talented, poised, confident. They were so nice to be around.
Are you on social media now after all this? What's great is you got your Social Security. Now do we need the social media? Do we got to get that in check?
It's sort of backwards, isn't it? I mean, yeah. But yes, I'm not any good at it. I can say, yes, I have an Instagram account, but navigating it is a little different.
Your granddaughters, I heard, said no kissing night one.
I failed, didn't I?
You failed.
Yeah, but I'm happy I failed.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't like I was failing 22 times. Oh. I think I only failed twice. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Was it weird? Did they say anything to you after the show aired? Like, oh, Granddad, we told you not to do that.
No, they were actually pretty gracious about it. You know, I got a little side eye from my youngest granddaughter, but other than that, they were okay.
They were so cute with it. What did they think about watching you get emotional? Because that was sort of my favorite part of it, which brought it all home.
So they've seen that a number of times. You know, when I talk about Toni's passing or, you know, topics related to that, they've seen me do that a number of times. So it's not new to them. And I guess actually, you know, I found that happens more and more as I've gotten older. You know, I don't know whether it's specifically when Toni passed away that brought it about or just getting older, but it happens more and more.
I love that. That's called wisdom. It all comes out. Yes.
All right.
It's growth. Did you and Toni watch the show together? Did y'all ever watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette together?
You know, back in that era, we probably did, but I don't specifically remember either of us getting too hooked on it. You know, the family members that really got me going on it were my daughters, you know, later on. So I don't really remember us watching it much.
What would she think about you doing this? Would she see the humor in all of this and kind of the beauty of it too?
She would bust my chops. She would absolutely be busting on me bad. You know, but, you know, we had conversations before she passed away about wishing the other happiness after one of us was gone. And for several years after she passed, I didn't really hold those conversations dearly. And as time went by, you know, I got more and more comfortable with it. So when the Golden Bachelor thing became an opportunity, I was really on the threshold of really kind of branching out and doing much better than I had.
It's so beautiful, which is why I think a lot of people are going to really love this incarnation of The Bachelor, the Golden Bachelor. Let's get to some bombshells, Gerry. Okay, the walking out of the limos are always some of the best ones. What did you think when Teresa came out with her birthday suit?
Yeah, that one is, that's burned into my memory because I'm trying to be a gentleman, right? And so
I was so nervous.
She does this thing, and I literally am trying to not look at her below the chin. And it's like I can't help it. It's like, okay, what's actually there? So, yeah, that one made me really nervous.
And the way she went to untie it, so at first I was like, don't do it, don't do it. And then she did it, and we can't see as the audience, and then thank goodness it was a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
I was so nervous. April with the chicken dance, and then she's popping her behind.
Yeah. She always brought energy to every scene she was in. So the very first time set the stage for her to do things later on in the show.
It was really funny.
It was.
Susan saying she showing you her heels and saying she's I don't even want to say it. She's comfortable with 6 inches on her heels.
Exactly.
But it was a naughty, a wink and a wave. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that reference really caught me off guard. And, you know, that night I remember her saying it. I'm going, okay, that was soft enough. Maybe the cameras and the mics didn't pick it up. Oh, yeah, they totally did. So,
You know, you're so wholesome and sweet. Were there any other moments that you're like, oh, gosh. Oh, there was the one where the lady was dropping the F-bomb the whole time.
oh, yeah, that one.
That was good. I was like leaning in. I'm like, is that what she's saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was awkward for a moment, and you know, because I didn't know whether I wanted to look around and say, okay, cut, you know, stop, or okay, we're going to go with this. And I think she did it about twice before I joined in.
You were great. It was the whole thing is set up to be awkward, and you handled it so perfectly up there. And I think the best reason. I think that my favorite reason is they always say it's a person there for the right reason, and you are there for the right reason.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I looked forward to the whole journey right from the moment I committed to it, thinking, you know, I'm tired of being alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be by myself anymore. I want to have that partner for whatever activity, and the partner that just is the best company when you lay down at night and you have conversation. And so I was committed to that journey. I was 100% in.
Oh, I can't wait to see. I'm checking you out to see if we look. I think we look in love. I think we look happy. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rank your experience?
Oh, it was a 10 experience. No, there's no doubt about it.
I can't ask if he's taken, but he looks very happy over here. First impression, Rose, for Faith, what was it about her?
Oh, so obviously you know that Faith came in on her motorcycle. She did a great entrance, the hair toss and all that was wonderful. So then later in a conversation, we're around back and she's playing the guitar and singing the song. But as I said on screen, she got the first impression, Rose, for the look and the butterflies I got with that look. So that impression stayed with me.
I love watching the other women. Was it awkward when you had to go pick up the rose? I always feel so bad, like it's in front of the women that you're not choosing, and I think they do that on purpose, Gerry.
Well, of course they do. And it is awkward. You know, I felt badly about it. You know, I'm overjoyed on one side of the coin, but then I feel terrible on the other.
Yeah, I actually have to leave the room when it's at the end to see who doesn't get the rose because I just feel so badly and my husband makes fun of me. Like, I can't watch it. For you, I loved watching you get emotional. I'd feel the same way.
It's awful. And as you will see, as the episodes unfold, everyone gets worse. You form more and more of a bond with these women, and they're just fantastic. And you fall in love with all of them as a group, and then all of a sudden you're saying, nope, sorry, you got to go home. It's just terrible.
Did you think about that before you did the show, or did you not think it would be this hard?
No, I thought about it a lot. And I just knew there was no easy way to do it. And I'd go over in my head, okay, what's the most humane way? What's the most merciful way? And there's no easy way to do it. There just isn't.
Oh, gosh, you did it great. And then you have to hug them goodbye, which I always get so nervous.
Awful.
But they're all so sweet. I know my husband's like, she's leaving the room again. I'm like, I can't watch. And at the end, the super tease looks fantastic. Y'all are everywhere. And I love what you said, though. You get really emotional. And you say the only time you've ever felt worse in your life was when your cute wife passed away. So this thing has really impacted your heart. Take us inside those emotions.
So it's, like I said, it's gut-wrenching. But by the same token, I know that it's my journey. And I know that I'm going to have to make some difficult choices and make some tough sacrifices to get to my end result. And as the teases allude to, there's some fantastic dates throughout this thing. I think people would be very impressed with the energy level, the adventure level of some of them, the excitement. One in particular is very high profile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you know, when you're talking about driving a vintage Bronco to a heliport and getting in a luxury helicopter and flying it through the skyscrapers of LA and then out into the Pacific to land on a yacht, that's a pretty good date.
Yeah. Are you laughing? Or are you like, I can't wait to tell my daughters about this? Like, Dad will be home soon. Fire up the chopper.
Yeah, see, I mean, that is definitely out of my price range anyway, but it's nice that I was able to get it.
Normally on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, they come home to meet Mom and Dad. For you, do you have to bring home whoever you're choosing to meet your daughters? Is that how it works?
Yeah. That was it. That's a nice twist. I really think that the wisdom and the perspective of someone in their 40s and mid to late 40s was very helpful to me, because I had some questions at that point, and my daughters picked up on the same questions in discussions with the women.
I like that.
On
You're
those 2 days.
aligned.
Oh, it was uncanny.
I have one beef with you, Gerry.
Only one?
Only one. No rose for Aunt Chippy?
I think Aunt Chippy had expectations for going home early. She was snoozing out back halfway through the night, so I don't think she could have stood very much more activity.
You were so cute to Aunt Chippy. I think she needs to come on as like that voice to just kind of, you know, throughout the whole season.
That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah, like the voice of conscience.
The voice of conscience, like, Gerry, what's going on?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing, Ger? Bring it in, Ger.
Perfect.
Perfect. We'll get that right there. Going back before, when all the casting went down, what's the craziest thing? So they choose you. What's the craziest thing they made you do to get ready for this? I heard they had you to go through tests and IQ things. And
yeah, so I'm on vacation in February, and I, you know, get this call that I have to go immediately to a clinic for an STD test.
Did you know what that was?
Well, I did. It took me a moment, but yeah, I go, really? Right now? I'm sort of on vacation.
Were you with your daughters?
No, I was with a former girlfriend, actually. We've remained good friends.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and of course she looked at me like, what the hell? She knew I was in this process.
Yes.
And then immediately after that, it was like, okay, we need to start your background check. And they go, okay, there's 160 questions. I'm on vacation. Forget, you know, it's like it can wait until tomorrow.
Did everything come out okay?
As a matter of fact, yes, it did. Yeah, thanks for asking. I get that out there.
And then I'm thinking about the ex-girlfriend. She could double back, Gerry. They love an ex-girlfriend that comes into things. I'm just warning you. I've watched a lot of these seasons.
She has clearly stated she wants to have nothing to do with it.
I like her already. Jane Fonda has famously said that intimacy is better in your 70s. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, sure. She's Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the serious answer, though, is I believe that's true. In your 30s, it's more lusty. In your 70s, I think it's a lot more like love.
I love that.
You're like in the fantasy suites. The individuals involved in that, we couldn't wait to get behind closed doors without cameras and without microphones and really have the difficult questions answered that we're not able to do in the public eye.
Yeah.
And it was, I will tell you, it was a watershed moment.
Oh, wow.
So, but the emphasis was on emotional discovery, intellectual discovery, and not so much the physical.
I love that. Well, you've brought me back to network TV. I'm tuning in, Gerry.
Oh, thank you.
Go get them. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you.